Try mocking me again. Single dad waiter warned, the billionaire froze. Part 2. The rest of the afternoon passed in uneasy silence, but neither Nathan Mercer nor Victor Ashcombe could shake the strange feeling left by their brief exchange. Nathan returned to serving guests with the same quiet professionalism he always showed, yet Victor found himself repeatedly glancing toward the waiter. There had been no anger in Nathan's eyes, only dignity, and that unsettled him far more than if the man had shouted back. As the lunch meeting ended, one of Victor's oldest advisors, Harold Whitmore, quietly approached him. Harold had spent more than 30 years beside Victor and rarely interrupted him without reason. Looking toward Nathan, Harold hesitated before speaking. "I know that man," he said softly. "Years ago, he wasn't a waiter. He was one of the brightest engineers I've ever met." Victor frowned. Harold explained that several years earlier, Nathan Mercer had designed a revolutionary energy-saving mechanical system for a manufacturing company that Victor had once tried to acquire. Before the acquisition was completed, Nathan's wife had died in a tragic accident. Crushed by grief and forced to raise his little daughter alone, Nathan had walked away from his career. The project was abandoned, and no one ever heard from him again. Victor stood completely still. The hard-working waiter he had mocked was not someone who lacked talent or ambition. He was a father who had sacrificed everything for his child. That evening, Nathan picked Olive up from school as usual. She ran into his arms with her familiar smile, proudly showing him a drawing she had made. It showed the two of them standing beneath a bright blue sky, holding hands. Across the top, she had written in large letters, "My dad is the strongest person in the world." Nathan smiled through tired eyes. For the first time in weeks, he felt that perhaps life still had something unexpected waiting for them. Meanwhile, Victor returned to his enormous mansion, but the luxurious rooms felt strangely empty. The laughter at lunch echoed painfully in his memory. He remembered his own father, a factory worker who had spent decades teaching him that every honest job deserved respect. Somewhere along the road to becoming a billionaire, Victor had forgotten that lesson. Unable to sleep, he ordered his research team to investigate Nathan's background. The report arrived the next morning. Every page made Victor feel worse. Nathan had sold nearly everything after his wife's death to pay medical bills. He worked double shifts whenever possible, never accepted charity, volunteered at his daughter's school during his free time, and secretly helped elderly neighbors with repairs without charging them a single penny. There was not a single complaint against him. Only stories of kindness. Victor slowly closed the file. For the first time in many years, he felt ashamed of himself. The following afternoon, Victor returned to the restaurant alone. The staff immediately became nervous, expecting another complaint. Instead, Victor requested Nathan by name. Nathan approached calmly, unsure why the billionaire had returned. Victor stood up before the entire restaurant. His voice, usually filled with authority, carried genuine humility. He admitted that he had judged a man without knowing his story. He confessed that success had blinded him and that he had mistaken wealth for worth. In front of every customer and employee, he sincerely apologized. The restaurant fell completely silent. Nathan looked at the billionaire for several long moments. He could have humiliated him. He could have demanded revenge. Instead, he simply nodded. Because he understood something Victor was only beginning to learn, that forgiveness often requires greater strength than anger. Their conversation continued privately. Nathan revealed that although he still loved engineering, raising Olive had always come first. Every opportunity that required moving away or working endless nights had been impossible because she needed her father more than any career. Victor listened without interrupting. Then he made an unexpected offer. He invited Nathan to lead a new engineering division within his company, one designed to develop affordable technologies that would help schools, hospitals, and community centers reduce energy costs. Nathan accepted only after one condition. He would never be treated differently because of pity. He wanted the position only if he truly earned it. Victor smiled for the first time in days. That, he quietly admitted, is exactly why you deserve it. Months passed. Nathan's innovative designs transformed the company. His leadership inspired younger engineers, and his practical ideas saved millions while benefiting countless public institutions. But no matter how successful he became again, one thing never changed. Every morning he still prepared Olive's breakfast. He still walked her to school. He still reminded her that kindness mattered more than success. One sunny Saturday, the company organized a community celebration in the city park to honor employees and their families. Victor watched from the stage as Olive ran across the grass laughing with other children. Nathan stood nearby, smiling peacefully. Victor realized something no business award had ever taught him. Real wealth was not measured by bank accounts. It was measured by the people waiting happily for you when you came home. As the event ended, Victor addressed the crowd. He admitted that the greatest lesson of his life had not come from a boardroom or billion-dollar negotiation. It had come from a single father wearing a waiter's uniform who refused to lose his dignity even when others mocked him. Nathan looked toward the bright afternoon sky, remembering Marina. For the first time since losing her, the future no longer felt frightening. It felt hopeful. Olive slipped her small hand into his and smiled. She had never needed a perfect father. She had only needed a loving one. Sometimes the strongest people are not those who stand on the highest stage or own the biggest companies. Sometimes they are the quiet parents who wake before sunrise every day, work with dignity, endure silent hardships, and still come home with enough love left to make a child believe the world is beautiful. And in the end, that kind of strength is worth more than all the riches on earth. The end.